everybody. Welcome to class. This is Frank Gerwer joining me.
Yes, I'm here.
You're here?
I'm just setting my camera up if you can see.
Okay.
Standing? Oh, is our whole routine standing today?
Yes, we'll do the Ashtanga standing series. I don't know if you can hear I put on some music.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe we should just get into it.
Yeah, let's just get into it. You want to start regular breathing and then?
No, we're not going to breathe.
We're not. Oh, shit,
No. Sorry.
Can we breathe a little bit?
Okay, you breathe. Good. That was great. Did you feel that here or here? Yeah, both. Okay. In the grimple. All right. So, Frank, you look like you're levitating. My phone moved. Okay, that's exactly the warm-up you need to do. Okay. So welcome to the Crailtap Variety Show. This is a variety of a show that in some people might call subpar, but to us it's, all we have. Par. Okay, Frank, we're going to start with this one. Feet together, hands at your sides. You know the routine. You do it.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, that one's a killer. Okay.
Yeah.
Hands down at your side. Put them up over your head. Touch your palms.
Big breath. Reach to the sky.
Reach to the sky. Head straight. We're going side to side first.
First, we're going to keep reaching to the sky. I want you to go. I don't want Andy Mack height. I want Christian Hosoi height with your hands.
Okay, I got they're tight, they're just tight.
You're just stretching. You're getting pulled up by the hair on the top of your head like someone's being a bully. And now you're going to bend to your right.
Oh. Now, remember, if you haven't done this in a long time, don't go too far, because this one, just ease into it.
Don't go too far. Just ease into it. Push out at the hips. Frank, I'm really happy that you knew which way to go. I said to the right and you did it.
Well, yeah, I knew it wasn't your left.
Let's come back to the center.
Oh, okay.
Stretch up to the top. Take a big breath.
Oh.
And on the out, we're going to go down to the other side.
Oh, shit.
The other side.
Do that. Same thing. Pull your left arm to make your right arm and open up your whole left side. Or your right side, rather.
Yeah, I don't actually believe in left and right, Frank. I think that's a hoax.
So just take the one on the A side and push it towards the sky so the one on the B side stretches out.
Right, yeah. Thank you for using that language. Okay, now we're coming back to center. We're going to stretch up, and we're going to keep the arms up there, and we're going to drop our heads to the back.
I'm going to do this one sideways so people know how much it
hurts.
hurts.
Okay. Yeah, this one is really painful.
Okay.
And then we just bring the arms in the back and then push your pelvis towards the cell phone.
Oh, that's what helps if you squeeze your butt cheeks really tight.
Oh, that's good. Oh, okay, let's come back up.
Okay, thank you.
Keep your arms up. Everybody, I hope you're following along. I think I see some comments there. I'm not going to be reading them. And then we're going to bend down at the waist. You're like a hinge. You're going down, and you're grabbing the nose and the tail at the same time. And then you're going to walk your hips out. You're like walking the dog.
Yeah.
You're going to watch I'll go the sideways way. Like that.
What? Oh.
That's a real nice release. And then you're going to put your hands underneath your heels, like this, with your arms behind your shins, or also your legs. And then you're like that. And then you're going to put your head down, and then you're going to try Here's one thing, folks, is I am not flexible and I have not stretched in about 2 years. And this is no joke.
Also.
Oh, that's a nice stretch. And then we're going to come back, arms and body at the same time. Drop arms to the side.
And with that one, you got to really pull on the heels and lift up.
Yeah, when you do that next time, because I feel like as skaters, we're just going to remember this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I did it. I know how to do it. Can you hear me, Frank?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Now we're going to go.
Rick, go ahead.
Now we're going to spread our feet out a little bit wider. Just a little bit, just hip length. Not like the hip at the Powell warehouse. More like the hip at Petrero.
Okay.
Okay, so just right here. And then we're going to put our hands out like this.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, this one. Frank, can you walk us through this one?
This one, you're going to sit down, keep your legs straight, and you're going to slide, keep your back straight and head straight, and kind of slide down like you're sitting against a wall.
Yeah, like you're going to sit into a chair.
Yeah. And you got to get up on your toes on this one, Rick?
The next step, you do that.
What's up?
And the next step, you do that. Round two.
Yeah, so get as low as you can. Reach in front of you, stick your butt out.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of sticking your butt out.
Yeah. And then up on your toes.
Now you come up.
Okay.
Go up on your toes. Keep your arms straight. You don't want you to go way high on your toes.
Yeah, this one's tough.
And then do the same thing. You just go down, bend down, slide your back against the wall like you're doing a backside wall ride. See,
Yep.
We're skaters. And we get it low like this. This one only skaters can do good. You know? Skaters, dude. Because we got these thighs.
Everything just popped in my leg.
Welcome, my friend.
My chakra is clean.
Wonderful. And then we're going to come back up slowly.
Oh.
And this one has bad style. And we're going to keep our arms out. We have bad style on this one, okay? We're going to turn our feet pigeon-toed like Rodney Mullen.
Okay.
And we're going to put our knees together, which is something as skateboarders we just don't do naturally. And we're going to lift up, knees together, lift up on the toes again, get your dog out of the frame, and then lower.
Drop. Squeeze your knees together and focus on something ahead of you to keep your balance.
Or focus on nothing, you know? Like, I think, Frank, you're one of the best people out there at focusing on nothing.
Huh? What?
Exactly. And then come back up.
Oh.
I might have fallen there, but that's fine. That's part of the thing. Oh, let's put our hands to our sides and breathe.
Your feet together.
Frank, just keep thinking of nothing.
Done.
You taught me that.
Yes. Think of nothing.
Yeah. What's something I could do to help me keep my mind clear like you?
Go ahead.
I said, what's something I can do to help me keep my mind clear like you?
Oh. Nothing.
Right foot up, bend at the knee. Nothing. Wow, you're a legend. Bend at the waist, put your hands under your feet and interlock your fingers.
Oh, this one, Rick.
Yeah. Normally
lock
good.
The left leg, too.
Yeah, lock the left leg.
Yeah.
And normally people that are somewhat talented or flexible, they'll stretch their leg out straight like that.
Yeah.
I think this angle shows that might hide that my leg is not straight at all. So this is what we're doing. Extending.
Go to where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
like a cafe or a park.
You're totally.
I'm most comfortable in my basement or in the toilet.
Me is in the closet.
And then we're going to bring it back. We're going to drop the foot down. And we're going to stretch out a bit in the shoulders. And then we're going to do it again on the other side. This is called, in yoga, they call this switch stance.
That's what they call that in yoga.
Yeah, so this is switch stance. So what you want to do is to get your hands under your foot, interlock your fingers.
I'm falling over.
If you got to fall, go with the fall. Take the bail, you know?
Yeah.
And then now we're going to extend that leg.
Over.
Extend that leg, Frank. Lock the knee, Frank. Get it out there.
About as far as I'm trying, stretching my back, stretching my shoulders, locking my knee.
So this is stretching a very particular muscle in your body that most of these are doing, which is technically called your back muscle.
Yes.
This would be a back muscle stretch.
Oh, can I put my leg down?
Yeah, let's bring it all back together. Bring it down. Straighten out. I'm going to lift my arms up and drop them again because it feels so good. And this is really about just feeling really good, folks. I know that you think I may have jumped the shark here, but fuck you. Anyway, so it wasn't my idea. Okay, let's put our hand to the side like this, like we're going, if you're regular footed, like you're going to do a stalefish. Regular footed stalefish. You ready? Hand down, regular footed stalefish, and grab your inside ankle like this.
Underneath.
Underneath. Stalefish. Frank, show them. Inside. Inside.
Inside the foot.
You're going to put your left arm high up in the air. This one looks really cool. This one looks really cool, class. You're going to bring your knees together. It's a nice stretch on its own. And then what I want you to do is kick your leg into your hand as you bend forward and stretch your hand towards
kick your leg.
yourself from.
Yeah. Pull yourself up. Oh, this one sucks. And try to keep your legs together.
Yeah.
And lock your left knee.
I fell out just because I wanted to go like this. Good job, Frank. So I'm going to go back into it. Like I didn't actually fall.
Oh, fuck.
You want to get your foot over your head like that. Okay, that's all I just wanted to show you. Yeah, and then now let's bring it back down, Frank. And now we're going to do... No, you're beautiful, Frank. You're one of the prettiest out. Next, goofy-footed stalefish.
Other side.
Hand out to the side. Switch stalefish if you're regular. Get on the inside of the leg, the foot. Right hand in the sky when you're claiming. You're like, yeah, I did it. I'm the one that did the hard grimple.
Okay. Arm up.
Kick into your hand and bend at the bend and bend. Kick into your hand. This is where I fall. I can't do this one. That's okay.
That
one's okay.
Tough on the switch side. It's like a method.
Since my knee surgery, I can't really do switch. Okay, let's try again. Kick, and you want to get your foot over your head like that.
Yeah.
So, just keep reaching.
Ow.
That one feels really good. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. All right, guess what, guys?
What?
We got 1 minute, so let's do the last one. Let's do this one, Frankie.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to stand like this. This one we're only doing because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Hands out like this, feet wide like this. Turn your toes forward and your back foot a little bit forward. Bend at the waist, arms like this. Look at that. Just try to copy that, folks. And this has been really relaxing.
Yeah.
I wish, let's go the other way, Frank, because we have 20 seconds. This has been really relaxing. And it's been so good to connect with all you people. I've read all your comments from here across the room. You're beautiful. Now we're going to kick it to Kenny, and he's going to do some vegan cooking in his kitchen. And Frank, I love you. Let's do this again, in person.
Yeah, that would be nice.
We feel good. We feel good. Kenny?
Yes, we're here. That was Rick. And Frank, you need to please have your own show every day. I need to wake up to that. I'm all loose now. So we're gonna do a little Cacao Elixir. And if you have any questions and I happen to see it, I'll answer them. But at this point, I set some stuff out. This is cacao. This is Burroughs chocolate from Vermont. Raw, 100% raw cacao. That's what you need. Or if you have bars for like traditional ceremony stuff. So I'm sure you guys just want to make it, maybe? You're the greatest. Okay. So we're also going to talk about the benefits of all this. As some of you may know, this marks a year of when Ben Ramers took his own life. And it's a heavy day for a lot of us. So I want to, I guess, bring in the correlation between food and mental health. So yeah, cacao is one of them. It has so many benefits: vitamins, minerals. It's a natural antidepressant. And by no means am I saying this drink is going to get you out of anything you're in, but at least you can be more aware of what food can actually do for you and what it's been doing for centuries in Eastern medicine. So with that being said, let's all smile for Ben today, and let's make this elixir. So we're gonna do, we're gonna start with, is anyone writing this down? If you are, 2 cups of water. I'm gonna put it in the pot over here. Put it on like a medium high. And we're gonna do three tablespoons of cacao powder. Right? 1, 2, 3. Put a little extra in there. Oh, shout out to Antisocial too, Rick. And we're gonna do, you heard of lupini bean, but it's a good plant-based protein. And this company, Chocho Superfood, is amazing. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of that. Like I said, this is many benefits as well, but protein. And then we're gonna have cardamom seeds. This is blood flow, joints, anti-cancer, so much out of these little seeds. What is this? Someone else is giving a little recipe? Magic powder and 1 tablespoon of magic bean. There it is. If you toast these, they release the flavor a little more. So I'm gonna toast them real quick while we talk. And do about a tablespoon. Or half. We're gonna use there it is. Here, let me show you. Can you see that? Do that on high for about a minute. As we're toasting that, let's blend this guy. You see that? Let's blend that. All right. See, this is kind of, when I make stuff, I'm usually in this routine of like aloneness and, can you hold up labels? So it's kind of messed up my flow right now, but labels, a lot of things are in jars for someone who asks labels, but this is Burroughs chocolate from Vermont. Burroughs, 100% raw cacao. Chocho Superfood, that's lupini bean. Cardamom, I just made my own little thing from. All right, and we're gonna do a little pinch of sea salt, Himalayan, Celtic, whatever you choose. Little pinch. Put that in there. A pinch of cayenne. If you guys like it spicy, you can do maybe like 1/8 teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon. I'll do an 1/8. You know what? Yeah. An 1/8's pretty spicy. And then, let's see. If you want, at this point, you can add any adaptogens, chaga, herbs, whatever you want. I'm gonna do it basic right now. Typically, I'll add mushroom, chaga, reishi, and things like that, but we'll keep it simple. Let's see. So let's mix this. Can you see me over there? Nice shirt. Thank you. Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Antisocial Teacher. All right. Typically, you can let that brew for like a half hour. But today we're gonna do about how much time do we have? Oh, I didn't set the timer. I don't know how much time I have, but we're gonna set it up. We're gonna do like maybe 5 minutes. Oh wait, the cardamom. Cardamom. There it is, toasted. I'm gonna put this in my grinder over here. All right. I'm gonna grind it. It's gonna be loud, but ask me questions. If you're lost trying to write this down. Are you cooking a steak? No, I'm not. It's a cacao elixir. Is that on the heat or cold? Heat. Medium. I toast it on high for a minute, and all the loveliness is on medium high. Antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. Someone asked what the benefits are. One of the main things I want to talk about is the fact that it has it's a natural antidepressant. So it triggers the release of dopamine. It has serotonin in it. Again, I mentioned at the beginning, but there's so many foods that are a natural antidepressant, and it's good to look into that. Who's that? Remember me and Neil see driving on Carroll, BC. Closely, and it was just a good. I look like a girl in a Mercedes. I just got. All right, so we're gonna add a teaspoon or half teaspoon of cardamom. After you grind it up, it looks like that. See it? Normal cacao. This is 100%. I don't have ceremonial cacao. That'd be typically a bar, but if you don't have it, 100% raw cacao with nothing added to it, will have a lot of benefits. So we're gonna mix that up. How much time do I have? Okay, I'm gonna let that brew. What's up, Larry? Any more questions? Any more questions while I'm doing this? Belgium, greetings from Redondo Beach. Favorite board graphic of mine. It'll be the new one coming out with my mom on it. A photo from her from the 1960s. I love you, Larry. Fennel seeds sound like they would be. Yes, I've tried it. It's good. Adds the licorice taste. 9 Club, ? Chris won't let me on. He kicked me out. He banned me. Drink every day. I have. I think. Look, I want you guys all research this. It's not cacao is pretty strong, so look into that and see how your body reacts to it as well. How often do I drink it? I do pretty much something like this every morning. I do some sort of elixir. I can rap. My favorite LV spot. It's these ledges, actually. These ledges. Horseshoe Park, it's called. Wait, how much time do I have? Hold on, here. We got to get back to this. I'm going to flip you real quick over to the blender. And here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to sweeten it with dates. Hold on. So we get blended. Typically you don't have to blend stuff, but you can just heat it and drink it. But I'm gonna blend it with maybe 2. It matters how big your dates are. How big your dates are. There's 2.5. Take this and dump it in here. Alright. Dropping everything. And then I'm gonna blend this. Oh, you know what? You're nervous. Tyler, don't be nervous. Did you ever let rip? Oh my goodness. Wow. It's too much. It's going quick. I can't answer these questions, but yeah, Manchild dates. Hit it. If not, hit them yourself. My dates are super saggy, bro. Then eat healthier. They'll pop right back up. That's a Vitamix, yeah. No coffee, Tobin. It's an alternative to coffee, actually. IG, Burroughs Chocolate, yes, exactly. Little Food Network, maybe? I have skate. Okay. Here we go. One thing I forgot to do was do orange peel to let it soak. So we're just gonna do a little orange zest in it because orange peel kind of makes it all, which I found out recently. All right, so there it is. I'm gonna pour it in one of my favorite mugs. It's the Crailtap all hopped up on the brown stuff mug. Make sure to order one of those for your brown stuff drink that I just made you. You can drink it as is. It's really good. I'm gonna add a little coconut cream. As so. Here, look. I'm just gonna bring it up here. Add a little coconut cream, right? Here, let's bring you down a little bit. Can you see that? Here, let's bring it over here. A little coconut cream. Little cinnamon. Oop, it's a lot of cinnamon. And I did have some zest ready, but didn't do it. You can either toss that in there or do some, take orange peel and just kind of grate it on there. But to go back, do some orange peel. Peel off some like this and let it soak in there. Where am I at? And then you can either drink it like this. Mix it up. There you go. Yes, you can add turmeric. You can add whatever you want. You need kikkoman in that. If you haven't watched Freckleface, his stories of him cooking and dancing, I would highly recommend that. Looks like I have 1 minute left, guys. Remember, this is a medicinal drink. And if I were to say anything today, let's go out, skate, do anything you can for Ben Ramers. Use the hashtag #SmileForBen, and send out all your love to him and his family. And yes, McCrank. So there you go. I love you guys. And it's a long minute, huh? What else? Any other questions before I get kicked off? Mike Carroll, thank you. Thank you. Please make a cooking channel. Okay. Yeah. If you guys will watch, I'll make it. If you guys really try this, hit me up for the recipe. If it was too fast, if you didn't write it down. Drug Dealer is dope. Yes. Mike and the whole band. I love them all. I'm fortunate to be in it. How do you keep crumbs from between the counter and oven? I don't. They're piled in down there. And now Manchild. Oh yeah. Tyler, don't be nervous.
Yup. Almost forgot how to go live for a second. That was scary. But got a bunch of photos over here they asked me to share with y'all. So let's see. Kenny and those dudes had a plan. I don't really have a plan, so I'm gonna just throw on some records and show y'all around. Put on that. Pablo showed me this record right here. So we'll throw that on real quick.
got this in Japan with Tony Hawk. We went on a little trip, and it took me 3 days to buy it. I kept going in there, and they were like, every single day I'd be like, yeah, I want this camera, and they couldn't translate it back to me. So then I had to wake up. I got the translator to come pick me up. We went there, and then he just pulled out a little card and sold it to me like first try. It took me 3 days to buy this thing. But here's a little bit of the Japan photos. Mikey. These were good times. Smile for Ben today. All of us smiling, riding tigers. Father and son. Alright, this was the sickest demo ever. Well, obviously, because fucking Tony Hawk. But this photo, I was like, yo, I just need a photo of you doing like a invert or whatever. So he's like doing this fucking contest run midway through, like I'm not paying attention. He's just like, yo, Mitch! And I like turned around, shot this flick. The classic Tony. This is like one of the sickest trips ever. Jet lagged in Japan for 5 days with all my favorite skaters. That's Tony Hawk's only tattoo right there. Blurry, but still good. Jimmy Wilkins, the illest. If you don't know, now you know. Look at that steez right there. And then these were a session that Neckface, I just was at the bar and Neckface was like, tomorrow we're all going on a session, like you gotta come. I was like, yeah, all right. And then they hit me up, got the swoop, and then we all went to Lake Elsinore. Hubbard and everyone built this park, so it's like a sick little mission between all the homies. Rowan, Timo, Layback Smith. That one's kind of hard to see, a little blurry, but it's sick. Rowan and Grant, chilling. The Maka, the man who fired it all up right there. Thanks, Nick. Oh, this is one of my favorite photos ever, because I shot Julian Stranger. And if you notice, he's like kind of tilted a little back. He's like this. Like I was trying to get him, and right when I shot it, he noticed it. He tried to move out of the camera, but I was like, got your ass. Sorry, Julian. Had to get you in there. Blurry, you can't even tell it's you. Sit on trip. There's another frontal. Rozo. Rotard. The legend. Oh, there's some blurry what's ups. Oh, we got a couple. There we go. Speaking of Monk, Simon getting in the portal right there. Can you read that? That one. This was like the first day in Australia. Simon just pulled up after like us being there for a week. His shit kept getting denied. Just came and busted this shit first tee. So sick. This one was at some dude's house. This was during the Doll. We just came out with Doll, and our homie had a lake house, and then next to his lake house was this stuntman's house, and this dude had everything. Mini ramp, horses. He had the Michael Jackson, when you step on the dance floor it lit up, everything. He's like a crazy, gnarly Australian stuntman. He actually passed away in a jetpack accident like 2 weeks after we left. But we were living it up, as you could tell, catching some fish. That's Rick and Simon. That one's so sick. Hold on, let's go back to that lean though. Just cause, how sick is that one? Classic Ski Moan. I wish you were on live with me, dude. This shit's kinda needs some homie mode on this. There, is that better, Cold? Turn up the volume. And lower your expectations, because I had no plan for this. Here's Sleepy Malto. Love shooting the homies knocked out on the road. That's like the classic. This was another one while we were shooting the intro of Doll. Me and Morello were like working on it. I was like, dude, let's fucking drag the doll over to Amoeba and just like get a photo. And this chick walked by right when I shot the photo. It was my last photo. It actually made it like 10 times sicker. Just Neil's idea for an ad I had that never came out, but still a sick one. Yeah, Bam! The legend. Bam's actually so sick, dude. We went to his house like right out of... I got picked up to go on that Stay Flair trip. I didn't know anyone. We just showed up at his house and he was just chilling with us. Talking about... He wanted to give his Lambo away on Instagram. Oh yeah, Nirvana. Dave Grohl right there. Forgot where I saw him at, but I was like, I gotta fucking snag that. It's legendary. This is probably my favorite photo. Ray Barbie just having a good time. Blurry. Sometimes the blurry ones are the best ones. Ray. Yeah, Muska. The legend. This one was sick. I think I remember this day I was talking to him about Muska beats. I don't know if you guys have heard those, but they're fucking the illest. He like did one with like You God, KRS-One, like all the hip hop legends, but I was just like talking to him about it. And then the next day he started posting all the B-side footage of it, and I was like, no fucking way. I wonder if he like just got amped on I was like talking about it and went and dug up the footage. Some more sleepy time. Oh yeah, Cold, where's my speaker at? It's only right. Should bump some tunes off this. The original. Bet you ain't got that on your jam box. Wow. The illest. Oh yeah, Rick Howard and Oz. A little blurry, but this one's still sick as fuck. This is just the shit you do when you're bored on the road. Just pick up a little kid's bike and ride it around full grown ass man. Yeah, Rick, Walrite. This spot was sick, dude. Look at that style. Like, who the fuck else skates like that, dude? That shit is so sick. And then here's some shit. I bet you never knew that Rick McCrank would bust out some tags, but there's some Rick McCrank tags right here. And he's always drawing cats. I don't know why. I just save all of the shit people drawing. These cats are sick. Skimone Fishy. I don't even know what this is. Skimone woke up feeling crazy this morning. Alright, what else we got? Some SF. Oh, here's some good SF. Yeah, bear with me. I didn't plan any of this out. I just showed up to this. So. Here's my friend Brian Downey. Getting ready to take off. Forgot what trick he was trying, but I was like, dude, the way he just like kicks his board and jumps on it like looks so fucking sick. Block is hot. San Francisco bomb threat, I think that was. Here's Downey giving me my first tattoo, actually. I still got the, I don't know what it is, the lining right here. That's what it is. Got that on my leg. I just showed up to SF and he just got a tattoo gun and he's like, can I tattoo you? I was like, yeah, let me see some of your work. He's like, showed me his arms. I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't getting a tattoo. And then he showed me these girls he drew. He drew like 100 girls when he went pro. And I just picked this girl out. I think she was the Vogue cover of my birthday, too, which is pretty sick. So I was stoked on that one, Downey. This one, the Glory Days. Stevie, if you're watching, I know you were feeling like a pimp on that day. Stevie pulled up to Vincent's house with a Cadillac, freshly bought, dude. This thing was so ill. He don't got it no more, but man, riding in that back seat, it was like a couch with the subs. Dude, I guess this guy is a fucking skater. I don't know. I just was skating down the street. I saw him burning this shit down. I was like, damn. But I guess he's some skater around LA. I don't know his name. If anyone knows his name, write it in the comments. I forgot this homie. Living it up. And I think Nicaragua, Chico took us out there for this one. Yeah, there's homie again. What else? Alexander Leemore Davis. We snuck into some. This was in SF. I forgot what park that is, but we snuck in and just like shot photos around these like zenned out temples. It was so sick. It's always got something going on. Yeah, Al, cousin. These were like the first trips I was going to New York, actually. Just some cool little shit. This one, if you know who Billy Rohan is, he hit us up and he's like, or he hit Downey up. He's like, yeah, I got all these roll downs that we're supposed to paint so nobody graffitis them, you know, like do a mural on them. So he sent us this location and told us to go tag it. So Downey just like midday whips out the can and starts fucking tagging everything. Sick as fuck. And then the owner just walks out and starts yelling at him and is like, you guys don't have no permission? Like, I don't know who told you this shit. And then the cops came and we had to go buy white paint and paint over all of this shit so we wouldn't get the tickets. Thanks, Billy. I actually got this sick one Billy gave me out of his book right here. Billion bullets can't kill a single idea. That's the ill one. Barry. And then here's some Jake Johnson drawing right here. I think that's supposed to be Robert De Niro out of Taxi Cab or something. Forgot which one this one was. Yeah, this is the wall of just like all the travel shit. Grant drew that. Grant Taylor drew this on the last trip we were on. Here's a Pablo poem right here. This is the best one. Born like this, born into this. Once you taste, you can't untaste. Feel the vibes, notice birds fly away. Go with your friends together. It's hard to read this shit. Drift, slide, share. If that ain't skating, I don't know what the fuck is. And this is Mark Gonzalez's rail that we saved. We went and skated with him. He was like super stoked on Chico, so we went to New York. Me, Rick, and Chico and Simon skated with him. And he had these on his board and he just ripped them off and threw them in the bushes, and we're like, I'm fucking grabbing that shit. That's Gonz's fucking rail right there. Here's some other class. First fake ID right there. New York, 2000 minute. Alright, I don't even know what to do with this one more minute. The record's over. I think we're done.
Everyone tuning in right now, I'm Gordy. I'm the art director at Crailtap, and this is the art dump segment, okay? You're going to get some sneak peeks, you're going to get some insight into the process, and hopefully learn something new and fun. So right now, since we're in quarantine, we're like kind of locked in. So I'm here, Carlos is actually at the HQ, so this has been kind of like my home studio for like the last week, months, fucking days. I don't even know anymore. You know, got the scanner, the proper skate sticks, you know, cameras. Shout out Quiet Life. Shout out Andy Mueller. And then oh shit. And then we got the setup over here. I kind of just wanted to like share like this certain part about our process that I think is like pretty rad. That's that we actually like work with like the riders. We try to like make sure that like, especially like that they have input and that they can kind of like have their say in like what their stuff looks like, and that varies like rider to rider. But just like even recently, like me and Simon been working on all these, you know, see right here, all these drawings. He always making art, so we're trying to kind of make something off this piece that would make sense. So he started sending me sketches, usually just on the road, just kind of like rogue from his cell phone, just kind of like ideas and things that are like, you know, just getting him stoked. And so that this kind of progressed from infancy to kind of talking about treatments to like this is starting to get closer. And then he actually drew the whole thing out, which was super rad. And so after that, you know, one thing led to the next, and boom, we've got ourselves a skateboard. So I think it's rad. It's like fun to like work with everybody and to like, I don't know, like make art with somebody other than just like the people that you see every single day, and kind of giving people who ride for the team like their say is like sick for us, because then everybody's stoked. Quick brophy, little pop secret insight. We were trying to figure out like how to brand it. We ended up with something like this. I found this when we were in China. They had this sample there for us. It was super rad, and I was like, oh, that would be perfect for this design. Make it look super tech. And then, you know, Tyler, his homie hotel shit just came out, and so he was sending me all his homies. If you look real closely in that new one-off, they're all there in here in the crowd, swapped out for certain people. So, you know, check it out. Just the Where's Waldo shit. Anyway, let's go live with Los.
Yo.
Yeah, big dog, what up?
What's up? What's up?
Dude, how's it going, man?
Morning.
Morning.
Just over here at the lab.
Yeah, holding it down?
Yeah, dude. Just hanging out, making some soft goods.
Ooh.
Making soft goods.
Little softies?
Yeah, dude. Just here, creating a vibe, inspoing.
Hell yeah. Walk us around. What you got going on?
Just hanging. Got the little gallery back here, inspiring. Nate Dogg, my little guardian angel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just here over in this is like where Gordy sits.
Oh, yeah. Vacant.
Inspo truck wall.
Truck wall.
Just like labbing out over here, going through some of the archives, some of the art on the wall over here.
I got that Hecox one.
Yeah, dude, it's one of my faves. A lot of inspo around. So, but you know, it's pretty empty. It's pretty empty over here.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. But you know, I try to keep it cool, try to keep it live going on.
It's kind of rad to have like a, you know, 3,000 square foot studio. Just.
Oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. I'm just bumping the music. You know, people come in randomly. You'll see Rick, Meg, everyone just kind of like, everyone's like kind of like overlapping.
Yeah.
Kind of like doing their thing. Skate park.
Yeah.
You know?
Park's quiet, usually loud.
Come out and think about stuff. Riding around, everything behind us.
Hell yeah.
We're still going online strong. So JR's over there.
Yeah. You look at Manchild paint the park green.
Yeah, dude. I mean, shoot. You never know, man. I might just get bored. Do it. Here's the studio. Here's some of the stuff like
oh yeah,
that he was talking about, like Simon's one-off.
Yup.
There it is.
Yup.
His drawing, the match one-off, chilling.
Super hard. Yeah,
this is where we come to take photos, laying all the shit out. New OG Dot, Surratt Dot. It's very expressionist of you, Gordy. I love it. Loving it, dude. Surratt Dot. I just remember that from like art history, how I had to like remember that. Surratt Dot. Okay.
What is that called? New devices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying here's more new Chaco stuff coming out.
Yup.
Let me go over here to the board. Give you a little sneak peek.
Ooh, yeah, flip that camera around.
Some stuff coming up. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Get him in on the, give a
I
little
could
close.
flip me around, yeah, and then go and show you.
Yeah.
There we go. Here we go. All right, this is where we are today. This is out, like, coming out now. Stroke.
Yep.
Stroke's out. Killing it. Ben series coming out. Just having fun with, like, styles.
Hell yeah.
Some of the soft goods that Simon created. Pretty rad.
Super rad.
Yeah, dude. Muse. This is how we keep track of everything. Or at least me. Shoot, it's so awesome just to see stuff like laid out, like empty holes I need to fill. So
Right.
it's kind of rad.
I like bringing the line plan into the process because it kind of like, yeah, like makes that so you can sort of complete the sentence and it's not.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm so visually like just connected like that where I'm like, what needs to go here? Oh yeah. Like I have to remind myself which drop it is like so many times a season.
Right.
Like, this is like the next one's up. OG drop 3s. We've got the Beasties there. The Beastie boards coming through. And that's all like Spike's new stuff. His photos of the old Los Feliz Beasties days, my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all that stuff that's coming up. I'll show you in a sec the soft goods. And here's like some new Cacao gifts coming out.
Oh yeah.
Some cool one-offs, some cool soft goods.
Kenny talked about that his mom one-off and his.
Oh yeah, here it is.
He was stoked. He's like, yeah, I got this photo from my mom from like the 60s.
Yeah.
Gonna be.
We got a couple of different. We got a Skittles size and just regular popsicle size.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Sam? I see all y'all.
Yeah.
On there now.
Manchild.
Yeah, dude. Jesus Juice board. I like that one.
Yeah, the Jesus.
Hey, Zeus Juice.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait for these. Actually, here's some of the soft goods that are coming out that are like already here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, we got that Jesus Juice.
Yeah.
Crew. This is one of my favorites right here. It's like that Crailtap Comfort Soft. Long sleeve.
Yup.
With the chunk on the sleeve, but it's got a pocket, like pocket long sleeves, kind of sick.
That's hard.
And here's
here's
some of that Beastie stuff here, dude. That looks so ill.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Got the old school, the old dudes as old with everyone comes up old and Spike's stuff. The undercover cops. You know, yeah, if you see some of that movie, you see like the origin of what's happening there. Like they went and did this first just for fun, and then like they shot the video afterwards.
Right.
Just rad, like the sabotage one, and then here's another. Yeah, I wonder if that's Los Feliz, man.
Mm-hmm.
There, the era, so sick.
So sick.
All these soft goods. Bam! Look at that. Old Yak on guitar.
Yes.
The Art Critics.
The Art Critics.
Yeah. That was so good. Yeah, dude.
Sabotage. That shit.
Yeah, man. That's a good one. Out on the Town.
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
I love that photo.
Yeah, man. So fun. This one's awesome, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just out here playing in the clothes, dude, while you guys are like creating line plans for me. And then I'm just like, oh, yeah. Let's take this off and get back to work. But yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Just some rad stuff. Hooded girl, coaches. Pretty sick. That's like waterproof. Sick colors. Oh, yeah. Softy Chacos.
Those ones go hard.
But yeah, man.
Dude.
Just out here, dude.
Thank you
out here.
Bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Me and Carlos haven't seen each other in fucking a month, I think. Something
like that. Yeah. Looking good, dude.
Crazy.
You're looking good. You working out.
Yeah, dude, for real. I think that we got RIP MCA for real.
Yeah.
And RIP Ben. Small for Ben Ramers today.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Cool, man. Well, hey, we got to wrap this up because we've got a super special guest, or 2 special guests, I suppose, next.
Sick.
We got the Spike Jones, and Ringer.
It's on now.
Looks like we're having technical difficulties while we're waiting for the ringer. Welcome to my crib. Here we go. Here we are. Welcome. This is where I live right now. Yeah, let's turn this around. There's my wife. There's my bedroom. There's our dog. There's our 15-year-old dog sleeping away, Coco. You've seen her on a board. There goes Luna. There goes our kitchen. So right now, I'm touching my kitchen, and my foot is on my bed in my bedroom. That's how we're living right now. 300 square feet of awesomeness. Got this sick-ass bathroom. See my vibrant clothes right now? Keeping it. And here goes the bathroom. So, you see these clothes right here? This is where I do all my selfies.
Sorry guys, never done this before. Okay, I think I... Megan? Hey, I can't hear you. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh.
All right, sorry, Internet, Crailtap, Megan.
Rick and Sam are getting pretty edgy with it.
They should.
I had a plan, but I got thrown off. I had like a little mini anxiety attack, so I got thrown off course.
What was your plan?
I was gonna ask you. Doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna ask you about your highlight HR moments at Girl.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm good at that. Do we have HR now?
You.
Oh, I'm still HR? I haven't been
You're
around in a
still
while.
HR.
God.
You're still HR.
Things must be running really smoothly.
Yeah. I think the 2 standouts were Joel Patterson.
Yeah, that was in the first year. We were still at extra large. Yeah, we did very good.
Do you remember what you asked him?
No, but I do remember, he was our only employee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was our only employee. What I do remember is he was not doing a good job in some way or other. I don't know in what way, but I took him out into the alley behind extra large, and I talked to him, and I think I had a really good impact. But I don't remember what I said. Do you remember?
Well, one of the things that you said to him was you asked him what his plans were for his life.
Wow.
And I think he was like maybe thinking the same thing about us.
I was probably 23 and he was maybe 18, 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, life plans. What are your guys?
Deep conversation. And did he have any life plans?
I don't think he did. I let him go the next day.
So I guess it didn't. My talk to him didn't help.
No. But the other one I thought was really great was when you called Kelly Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly Bird, you're pretty meaningful and thoughtful in what you're expressing to him. And Kelly Bird said to you, "Well, you guys knew what you hired. I'm Kelly Bird." And you're like, "All right, thanks for your time."
That was yeah. I remember, and that was older then. I was like, so I had some years under my belt of wisdom at that point.
Yeah. No, I think you shared some good wisdom.
I don't know if that was as effective as at Pismo Beach when we all went camping and I just had to punch Kelly Bird in the face. That might have been more effective.
Yeah, I don't think that was an HR situation, though.
Kind of. I mean, we all work together.
Yeah. Yeah. In the
probably
big scheme of things, it's all HR, right?
Yeah. It's human resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever talked to him about that?
I think I talked to him right after about that. But he has this his superpower is that like his intentions are always so good that even when he's completely unreasonable, you're like, yeah, you're right. You know?
Oh wait, I think I also had to like. Oh, maybe I also grabbed Mikey in a headlock and had to slam his head into the sand because like he didn't know I was mad and he just kept going. That same night after I punched Kelly.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I might have thrown Sam too. I'm not really sure.
There's all the times I wanted to get Mike in a headlock and slam his head into something. I just thought it was not okay.
Hey Mikey, wait, he's here right here, Furry Calamari. Mikey, do you remember that? Did I headlock you into the sand? He says ha ha ha. So violent. Yeah, I know, it's true. We have some violent HR, but I think we've matured past then, right? That was...
Yeah, we have. We have. The other thing I was going to ask you about, or not talk to you about, was that your dad was on the board of directors, and you're like, and being so fed up with, I'm not even going to throw myself in there, I'm just going to say Rick and Mike.
Okay, yeah, you're perfect.
I am perfect. My dad's my proxy. And then your dad became part of the board of directors.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the meetings anymore because they weren't that fun. They
weren't that fun. You slept through 2 of them.
Yeah. I can't even talk about, I don't even want to like throw anyone under the bus in those meetings, so I'll just say, yeah, I slept through all of them.
Yeah, I'm an orphan, but if I had a mom or a dad, I would have probably chosen them as my proxy.
Yeah, my dad was a good proxy. He really tried hard.
He was a great proxy. The best thing ever was when your dad, who came to the board meetings in khaki slacks, a nice shirt, sometimes a branded girl or chocolate t-shirt, I think, just to be like, all right, you guys, I'm trying to work with you here, and a blue blazer. And then he like edged to the, moved to the edge of his seat and said, I'm a 76-year-old fucking man. Like he was basically saying, you guys are so full of shit and out of your minds. He rattled off all his credentials and then got up and left.
Yeah, he found it a little frustrating.
I think so.
When are you going to write your book, Megan, about Girl and the whole deal?
I don't know. I don't know. I know for sure it'll be post-pandemic.
Oh, okay. May as well wait.
Yeah. Why not?
What are you going to call that chapter? The monthly board meeting chapter with my dad?
I don't know because that was 2014 and 15.
No, it was 2012, 2013.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it started at the end of summer 2012, and then we started having the board meetings that fall, and then I remember mostly because I was editing her, and then.
Oh yeah, so
then
that's
the summer,
exactly what you want to do when you're editing a feature film
Yeah.
is drive to Torrance for a board meeting.
Yeah. Once a month where nobody wants to actually change anything.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's... I don't know what I would call that chapter. Maybe I would let your dad name that chapter.
Oh, that's a good... Oh, what? Also, he said, can't you do some more with, like, the shitty blog, shittyblog.com or whatever? Remember he called Crailtap shitty blog?
He called it shitty bloggy, but he said, what's your plan for shitty bloggy? You keep talking about it. What's your plan for? He came in patient and he left.
Yeah, I'd say about 4 or 5 months of patience, even.
Oh, more than that, I think.
And so, did you ever do any of the things that you talked about with shitty bloggy?
No, but we did all the things your dad told us to do. Every single thing your dad told us to do, we did. Not that year.
It took a couple of years.
It took a couple of years, but every single thing he told us to do, we did.
That's crazy. You told him that, right?
I've told him that 100 times. You know how easily I cry.
Did you cry? You cried when you told him?
Like every time. It was like so gracious of him, and yeah.
He's the best.
He is the very best. And then he sent me a book, and it was a female CEO wrote a book.
Oh, wasn't it the Facebook Leaning In book? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leaning In. Lean In or something, yeah.
And he said, this was after that we had done so many things that he had told us to do.
Yeah.
So I think he loved us all. Not that he didn't love us through it, but I think he loved us like he did before the board meetings. But anyways, he said, did you read the book? And I'm like, I'm only to the chapter where she's established maternity parking for the employees. And he's like, well, keep reading. She does a lot more. And then he sent me so many books. He's the best.
Did you read any of them?
I've read a lot of them. They're great.
Did it help?
But sometimes when I
did it help you as a CEO?
I think just as a manager and not taking things personally and just like looking at things from this place is so emotional.
Yeah. Let's talk about all the people that have cried in your office. Are there any employees in the history of Girl that haven't cried in your office at one point or the other? Or any skaters that haven't cried in your office?
Let's see. I would say, yeah, I can. There's some skaters that haven't cried in my office. There's a lot of skaters that have.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to name the ones that probably haven't, right?
Yeah. I think I was gonna say Manchild, but he cried in my office.
Oh, Mikey just said I have. Mikey probably has cried many times in your office, right?
Mike's cried so many times in my office.
What was your favorite time?
One of my favorite times was, he knows this, I wrote about this, I was trying to tell him to stop doing so much coke.
Yeah.
And to stop doing it, like, out in public, like in lobbies of hotels.
Yeah.
And while he was crying, he was like, it just kind of seems like you wouldn't even, I said, how would you feel if I was just, like, out, hotels in Hollywood just doing coke, like, just, out, how would that make you feel? And he was crying, and he's like, I just don't even think, you would really know where to get coke. And I was like, all right, fuck you, I do know where to get coke. But yeah, he's cried a lot. He's cried a lot. He cried, and probably less in the first 10 years, you know?
Yeah. He got more emotional as he got older, right?
Yeah. And, but then, you know, and I think that I have this crazy thing where I cry. When I see someone's about to cry, I cry and take that from them, which is just so fucked up.
What, they won't cry if you cry?
No, they cry, but like you know.
I would think they would cry more if you cried.
Yeah, maybe, but even like our landlord, her husband passed away, and when she came in to talk to me about it, I burst into tears before she could, and I'm just like, that's really lovely. But during this whole pandemic, I had to furlough 5 or 6 people, and before they could cry, I cried.
Oh man.
Did it just go dark?
Yeah. Did your room go dark?
Yeah, it's like a motion thing.
How often does that happen?
Well, I usually don't hold this still in here, so.
What?
I'm usually hysterically crying. My arms are going everywhere, so.
What skater would be stoked to hear you tell a story about them crying in your office?
Gosh. I don't know. I don't know who would be stoked about it, but I'm trying to think. Rudy's cried.
There's somebody says we can't all be friends, and they say I cried at my first Crailtap Christmas party.
He did, and then
who's that?
I think that's Manchild.
Oh, hey, Manchild.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think.
Why did he cry?
That was a happy cry.
Oh, he was just stoked to be on Girl?
Yeah, just stoked to be there and to be a part of everything. And Mike most never cried in my office.
Wait, speaking of which, we just, out of all of the texts I got from when the Beastie Boys documentary came out a couple weeks ago, the one you guys sent me of Manchild, his review was maybe my favorite one.
So good.
So good.
I loved that. That was great.
Yeah. Should I try and read it, or if I read it, I have to go off of this? Should I?
I don't know how you would read it.
Yeah, I'd have to go into my text. But anyways, it was really good. He cried watching the Beastie Boys documentary because it reminded him of how I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to say it's probably personal, right?
Maybe, yeah. But it was a great review, and yeah, it was awesome. It was probably what you want people to feel.
Yeah,
and
it was
sometimes hard to
personal.
express.
It was He watched it. It was very personal for him, which was cool, especially because he's so much younger and probably wasn't even born when they put out their first record. Or what year do you think Manchild was born in?
98.
Oh wow! So yeah, he wasn't even born when we did Sabotage video. So yeah, that was cool that he was still so connected to it. Thanks, Manchild.
Yeah. I think Rye might have sent me something sweet about it too, but Rye was just probably trying to be cool. What else was I going to ask you about? Oh yeah.
He was born in '96, says Sam. You're close.
What did it feel like to have the Beastie Boys movie come out like during this pandemic? Like, how did you feel like with such a beautiful project being released, and you're kind of separate from all the people that you would normally have some discourse with, like?
It was just it was the only disappointment was not getting to do screenings with all our friends, and that's always fun to do, and with Mike and Adam, and getting to watch it with our friends. But also we did me and Mike and Adam did so many interviews at that time that we were doing Zoom calls all the time. So I got to see them almost every day, anyways, which was really fun. But I think was interesting. My other friend Megan, who she is younger. I don't know if she's like 30 or early 30s, and she said it made her nostalgic for that time that she wasn't alive in. Like it made her nostalgic for this simpler time, like pre-internet time, and made her mad that she didn't get to have that. You know, that she wasn't alive during that time, and I thought that somehow related to this pandemic moment, like because things are just so crazy right now. It doesn't. I don't think it even makes sense exactly because we don't know what to compare this to or what the world is that we live in or what it's going to be, and it's just sort of everything's on pause, and when the world starts again, we don't even know what that means.
But don't you think that like that thing that she said that she missed out on? I think about that a lot because I think about, and you and I have kind of talked about that, the way you had to, you used to have to meet friends, and from those new friends, you would find out about bands and like, hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can hear you. I can hear you. You're just frozen. But
sorry. And looking at all that old footage, like the earliest footage, you kind of know it won't ever happen like that again.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think even like the stuff that goes on like during this pandemic is evidence that we could be more separate. When they talk about you can do this online and all these people can work from home, and that's great and stuff, but I do think that there's part of collaborating that means you have to be together,
Yeah.
The way that you socialize and get close to people and know that this person is more of your friend. I don't know, you think of like when we were at Wizard, right? There's how many, maybe 30 people there. But we could tell right away who we could be friends with, right?
Right.
But if we had to do that all through a Zoom, we wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Like we learned about all those people from being in a building with them every day, and what their sensibilities were, and who we liked, and who was crazy, and who was amazing, and
yeah.
And it seems like that's going to get even more diminished. That way of running a company and being part of a company.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to even say what it's going to look like, but yeah, But yeah, I mean, I think people always gravitate towards some. People will find ways to socialize and connect, and I think it's sort of inherent in who we are. But it just makes it harder. All this makes it harder. But what about just to bring it back to some violence? There was a question that said, who's caused the most physical violence at Girl? And it's so obvious that Rick has, right?
Yeah, I think that like there's at least 5 people on the team that have thought he's almost killed them.
He has so much strength, and he loves everyone so much, but he doesn't know how to use his words, so he just like wrestles them or throws like a beer bottle at their head as a sign of affection. And
kind of that, and also like I think he's just missing a link about danger, or like there was this electric fence closing at the old Girl building, and Rick McCrank was on the other side of it, and it was closing. It was just closing. There was no need for Rick to pull like McCrank through it. But at the last minute, he just grabbed him and pulled him through it. So the fence, like, it was so close that it, like, scraped McCrane's chest. And he was like, you could have killed me. And then Rick's like, I wouldn't have killed you.
Rick, sure. Wait, whose head did he slam into the refrigerator or something, or the wall in that kitchen?
Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Justin.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, he for sure has come close to killing Justin, probably, like, 3 or 4 times, and but I think like I don't know if you know about this, but on one of the last road trips they were on, he kicked a soccer ball like full speed and hit Mike in the face. Not on purpose.
Yeah, no.
Most of his violence is like fairly like, but I wasn't there. But it was. Mike said something along the lines of like, "I'm done. 30 years of this shit. I'm fucking done."
Oh, shit.
But I think Manchild was there, and I think it made like really good. Sam was there. Sam Smythe was there. Made really insane contact.
Oh, fuck.
Like full force.
Rick, and then Rick's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Oh my god, did that hurt?
He always make that expression, like kind of like regretful, but also really psyched still, like almost laughing and almost like feels really guilty, like some weird mixture.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, somebody says Mehem says, "How many birthday cakes to the face has Spike got?" And I would say all of them, probably every one of them. Rick loves birthday cakes to the face. I don't know, with everyone, or does he do it to everybody?
I think he does it at like most any given opportunity, but I think you've really, you've been up there. I think Mike's taken a lot.
I feel like the more he loves you, the more birthday cakes you get to the face.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it helps me.
You know what the other thing I was going to ask you about? Does anyone ever ask you about the Snapple commercial you made when you were 22?
Nobody does, actually.
Why?
I don't know. I used to love Snapple too. I drank so much Snapple, and so when I got the opportunity to make a Snapple commercial, I was like, "Yeah, can we get free Snapple?" And I got a lot of free Snapple.
Your 18 to 23-year-old self's eating habits were like amazing.
I didn't know you ate food because it tasted good. I just thought
you were just like, I gotta get sustenance.
Just put something in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an acquired skill that I only got in my 20s.
Yeah, cereal.
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 Frozen dinners. You know what I was thinking?
Go ahead.
Because like, basically, Denny's, fast food, like that kind of that kind of place, Taco Bell, and then I remember like once we started working at World and we had the World card, somebody started going like at lunch going to Olive Garden, which was a real step up from what we were doing for lunch before that. And like we had the World card, and like I remember Mark would take us to Olive Garden with and that was really good compared to like Taco Bell.
Was Sizzler after or before the Olive Garden? It was before,
Sizzler was before, yeah. Sizzler, I think, was, yes. Sizzler's where when we worked at Wizard, if we were going to splurge and not do like, fast food when we go to Sizzler.
Yeah. There were 2 times when we used the World card on our way out, and I think that statute of limitations is run out. Like, I don't think Rockland even cares to sue us at this point. But
like we used it after we didn't work there anymore.
When we were on our way out, let's just say. But we had to ship all your photos out of the Gramercy house to your mom in Maryland.
Yeah.
And we got them all on pallets, or you got them all on pallets, and you're like, get a quote from Roadway, and we
just put it on the World account.
Yeah, we put it on the World account, and then we went on a trip to Washington. Like, I want to say, if Girl started in August '93, we went on a trip in May of '93.
Yeah.
And Rocco footed the bill, I think. Well, you were like, do you still have your Amex? And I was like, yes.
And we just put all the gas, we put the gasoline on the card all the way up.
Gas and maybe the car rental. We rented like a bigger car.
Oh, yeah, to drive there. With Rick. It was me, you, and Rick, actually. Went.
Yeah, Rick got arrested.
I forgot about that. Why did he get arrested?
Yeah.
Oh, for speeding or something?
He was driving over 100, but he also didn't have any. He didn't have any ID, and he and they're like, you don't have a middle name. Rick's not short for anything, and then you like piled on.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Just
yeah. Did you give him any fake names? And he's like, no, I gave him my real name, and I put him in jail.
wait. Sam just texted me and said we have to get off the phone now and give it to somebody else, and we have to save this to live.
Well, wait, they should make up their minds. They want us to get on here, get off here. How do we save it?
Sam,
how do we save it?
why don't you merge him in? Oh, you can't do that, can you? All right, guys. I guess we have to save this.
Okay, but I gotta figure out how, because they'll get really mad at me if I fuck it up.
Do you save it, or I've saved it because I'm on the Crail one. You're on Crail Ringer, right?
Oh yeah, but you have to save it. It's on you, buddy.
Maybe if I push end, it'll give me the option to save it. Gives you option to save when you sign off. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna end it. Thanks, Manchild. Thanks, Megan.
Bye, love you.
Love you. Bye.
What up, everyone? Jake Rosenberg is being joined.
What's up, buddy?
What up, Jake? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Just watching all these. What's up with you?
I'm doing the same thing. Just tuning
Right.
in. I was like super impressed with Frank's yoga skills.
Uh-huh.
I felt like he was underestimated in his ability because he was kind of nailing all the moves.
I think he does yoga a lot.
Clearly.
I was kind of bummed. Tyler got cut off. I feel like he was getting into something important.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe he'll pop on after this and finish it or something.
Yeah.
What up? So you wanted to save to watch the Beastie Boys documentary till yesterday for a specific reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, and I have this thing, and I don't know why I have it. Maybe you relate to it, but when there's like an artist that I love that has made some sort of a work that is actually probably going to be like their last thing, I, for some reason, avoid it. So for me, like knowing the doc came out, and I'm with the editor of the doc thing, but sorry, no, it's all good. I was just saying that I feel like I avoid it because once I've seen it, then I've seen the last thing that they're going to put out. And it's just a weird thing. Like I know I want to consume it. I want to watch it. I want to feel it. But I also am sort of grieving the fact that once I see it, I'm never going to see a new, like it's done for me. So I probably would have waited. I mean, I probably would have waited months, maybe like another year to watch it. But when Sam texted me, it was like, actually, that's perfect. So I watched it last night and had like perma smile for pretty much the whole thing.
Rad. What did you think about it?
I loved it. You know, I sort of like
as a filmmaker
was really interested. I mean, I think I was super interested in it, in the format of it, because in a way, like the Beastie Boys never got to say goodbye as a band on stage, which is like clearly something that was super important to them. Like that's their origin is performing live as musicians, and where their career took them was to performing live as musicians who could kind of stand up for themselves. So it felt super appropriate. I was thinking in my head, it's funny, every time I brush my teeth, I'll have like an insight, but I was like, I think the documentary, quote unquote, of the Beastie Boys would be whack or wouldn't be true to who they are. Whereas this was totally true to who they are. It was spontaneous, it was awkward, it was imperfect, but yet they were being super honest about the context of their journey and their process. And it was like the last show, you know.
And their personalities were
for sure. For sure.
Sorry. Gotta deal with all these adjustments.
Find a comfortable spot, Mikey.
Yeah, well, my wife's walking around and making me move around so she's not in the background. She doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah. But I loved it. It's like, I think there's so many things for us, like what Megan was just saying about like that time will never exist again. Like their taste from day one was so off the charts. Like you just see Yauk's shoes in like 84, and it's like the dude is light years ahead of everybody.
The photo of him with the trench coat and the shaved head, it just like brought me back to like what. No, I wasn't wearing a trench coat or anything like that, but like my brother's friends, what they were wearing, and all that stuff, and just watching like just how they what they wore and just their sense of humor and all that shit. Reminded me of just, I mean, us, but I'm sure maybe it was mostly a lot of people at that time.
I think it's weird for me, like what I loved learning about was how hands-on they were with their music on their first album, and how hands-on Yauk was with sampling on that first album. Like for me, like those first 3 records are still untouchable. Like License to Ill, I was listening to in the gym before this whole thing happened, and it was like it felt like for the first time I heard how the verses came in and how the sound was, and it was like, dude, this shit is dope forever. But remember back then when like there was a rapper, you never thought that the rapper like made the beats too. You always thought the rapper was like the front of the group. So learning that they were like actually making it was incredible.
Yeah, for sure. I never knew that until the documentary. I got through some of the audiobook that had a little bit more information, but like just to, especially to find out about MCA, just how gnarly he was and how, you know, just forward thinking he was. Especially at that time when they drug out that little, what do you call it? I don't want to say tape deck, but the reel.
The reel. Yeah, the quarter-inch, the half-inch loop reel to reel. Doing the loop sample, because what he had to do was he had to make the space long enough that had the entire audio, so that when he played the reel to reel, it just played it in a circle, so it was like a loop. And it's just like, I just love that he was chasing that from License to Ill, and I think this is the depth of the story that those guys told together, is like they actually had to go through purgatory. They had to kind of have failure. They had to feel that they themselves were sellouts to kind of be like, who are we really? And then,
but it's also growing up too, right?
For sure.
You know, because like it was who they were, but then you know, you're young, so you get excited and you get caught up. You know,
I think that's the thing that I'm curious how you see that, because there's that wonderful line in there where, you know, the woman calls out Ad Rock the journalist calls out Ad Rock for the comments that he made about women and how they're changing their tune, and you're a hypocrite. And he said, well, I'd rather be a hypocrite than the same person that I was. And it's like, that
the same
to me,
person for the rest of my life or something like that.
And it's like, at what point, you know, can we kind of, and I think this is cool that we're having this conversation, because we've talked so much in the past couple of years and reflect on the time when we first met, but it's like, at what point can you kind of know that younger part of you is still a part of you, but you've grown up? You know,
I always trying to keep my younger part of me, but also, like I said, our wedding vows, be immaturely immature, you know? So just keep that immaturity to keep the shit fun and not so serious. You know, but also evolve, which is very interesting in this day and age. Like, it's like you don't get any room to evolve. Like, people get called out for shit when they're young and then canceled. But
it's a really interesting time for people trying to be persistent with an individual voice that may rub people the wrong way, because it's so easy to immediately cancel it, or it's so easy to immediately lump it into something else. And I think, again, the doc and that structure is so good at kind of crystallizing that punk rock moment, and how so much of culture today came out of people just being curious and breaking rules and finding, you know, different ways to express themselves.
And it was so early hip hop too. Like they
Yeah,
were a part of pioneering it.
for
You
sure.
know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the history of, what years everything started, but besides like Run DMC and then them, like both those, Raising Hell came out the same year as
Yeah,
Beastie Boys, and
yeah,
then but theirs came out after. And I mean, I guess they talked about that.
yeah.
But I mean, I think Raising Hell was my first tape that I bought. Well, actually, hip hop tape, because I was into heavy metal before all
What was
that.
your first LP? Did you ever buy a record? Did you have a record player?
Yeah, Greg had a record player. So actually, you know what? I got a Wasp. I don't know
Okay.
if it was a 45, but it was in the shape of the cover, which was like a crotch, fucking like a jock crotch or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a saw blade going through it,
Yeah.
called "Fuck Like a Beast." It was like a single.
You for
But
sure bought it only because of that title and that image. You did not
because
know the
it had the
music.
word "fuck,"
Yeah,
because back
exactly.
then there was no cursing really in
Yeah.
any kind of music. But like Greg was getting a lot of the records back then, but I think around 90, 91, I started buying 12 inches because they had all the remixes,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
So I got like
Dell and all
Burnt.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
My first record, my first hip hop record was uh was Lottie Dottie, and the B side was The Show.
I always hear
And that
people talking about that.
Yeah, and that was crazy. And then Run DMC and LL Cool J shortly after that. And then remember that movie Crush Groove came out, and like LL Cool J was in the guy's office rapping, and the Beach Boys were just at the center of that, and they had the talent, to
Yeah,
back it up.
and it was sick, dude. Like when I heard "License to Ill," there's MCA. He raps like his mom's takes away his remote control in his own
Right.
skateboard, and
Yes.
I was already skating at that point, so like right there,
He's talking to me.
yeah, fuck yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's like one of us or something
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
or someone relatable or something like that. You
So
know
what
what
was
I
your
mean?
No, keep going.
No, not much. I don't-
So then tell me about Paul's Boutique for you. So you were all in on License to Ill.
yeah.
And did you actively seek out Paul's Boutique, or because they were diminished on the radar, did you find it later?
I don't think I found it later. I think it came out. I think when it came out, I got it. I wasn't like actively waiting and looking for it.
Yeah.
Like I was like let's say Motley Crue's Theater of Pain or Metallica's Master of Puppets. Like when I was at that age and listening to all that, I was calling Record Factory every day. Do you have that? Do you have Theater of Pain? Do you have Master of Puppets? Like, I don't know what I was doing. I was probably 8 or 9, calling to find out all that stuff. So, but I remember at that time, we were listening to Jane's Addiction's album and Paul's Boutique and Greg's Omni. Or what is it, Omni? What car was that? Did you remember that? That white car,
No.
grandfather's car?
No, I was more when did he have the Corolla, or what was the smaller 4-door?
I think he had a Corolla.
The silver Corolla. I think that was when he got the job down at the foundry.
Yeah. So when I liked it right away.
Yeah.
I appreciated it right away. I wasn't tripping off it being different or anything like that.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I was in summer camp this summer of 1989, not skate camp, but like a regular sleepaway camp. And I was skateboarding at that time. And I paid a camp counselor to buy it when it came out, because it came out the session that I was in. So I got the dyed orange tape, which was amazing. And I wore it out. I mean, I remember hearing there's a part in that record where, whether it's DJ Hurricane or what, they play the record backwards during the track. And that just didn't happen that often. And it was like, what was that? And so I feel like
B-Boy Bouillonese, that 10-minute song at the end.
Yeah, and it's like, I really do feel in a really like accurate way, they're kind of very much of a Beatles group for our generation, because they their sound was theirs. They were exploring it, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just remember listening to Paul's Boutique and being like, this is fucking crazy. And then in the doc, when they talk about how MCA was like, oh, we're going to use this camera to do this. I remember getting the album because you wanted the album at that point because it was such more of an immersive experience. They wrote all the lyrics on the liner notes and they didn't separate the songs. It was just all text. So there was like, it was really, I think you saw the depth of their creativity like poking through, undeniably.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I didn't realize it at the time, but all the samples, how many samples, and then watching the documentary, learning about just those ideas and just like fucking condensing, just making the song so condensed with so many samples.
Yeah.
And isn't that album, like, besides like De La Soul, like one of the heaviest sampled albums or something like that?
I think it has to be. I think it has to be.
It was before sampling was illegal or something like that, right?
Well, I don't know. They were on Capitol Records, so there's probably a decent chance that they paid for a lot of those samples. Because De La, you can't buy those records anymore because they're those first 3 records, whatever, Tommy Boy, you know, didn't handle the samples properly.
Yeah, we tried to use, I forget what song it was for the last Lakai video, The Flare. And they sent us a version of the song without the sample, but they were trying to charge a lot,
right?
And it was just like the version of that song. It was like it sucks for them that they have to. That's what they have to work with after having such a classic song.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can only buy those records used as CDs. Like,
is that the case?
Yeah, the De La, when they went through the whole cease and desist, De La posted all the files digitally on their website, and I don't think they host them anymore. But you can buy those CDs online pretty easily.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to talk about Check Your Head, because obviously that's, to me, like what I love in the documentary is they sort of like, not literally, but they kind of make a deal with the devil in being outside of themselves to be these rapper party boys. Then they kind of go into their like cave and have all these weird inspirations in Hollywood. And then they kind of find themselves as musicians again. So because I feel like you were the one that had the first tape that any of us heard of Check Your Head right as we were finishing Questionable.
Yeah, I got it from Lance Dawes at Slap Magazine.
Yeah.
You know him. He's, all the magazines and stuff, they used to get promo tapes, like pre-release tapes, just so they could review them in magazines and stuff like that for when they came out. So Lance gave me a copy of Check Your Head. And so I had it, didn't think anything of it. And then when we were editing Questionable, I was just like, that's what I was listening to at the time.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, I really liked that song. And what was sick, I was so psyched to see that song was, in the documentary. And that was like, they kind of explained how like that was an important song to them, because they got into the using their instruments and all that stuff and kind of being like more of a hardcore band again.
Yeah.
Along with rap, just like mixed up everything.
Yeah.
And then, the story, how we used it. And then, so I don't know if you know the dates. I don't remember, but I know that, what was it? The Check Your Head came out April 21st, 1992.
Yeah.
And I remember we had the premiere, and then I found out that album got released after the premiere.
Yeah.
Like a week or 2 after the premiere.
That's right. I think the premiere was either Friday, April 10th. I looked at the dates online, or Sunday, April 12th. I don't think the premiere was on a Saturday night because it would have been too expensive to get La Paloma.
Yeah. And I remember, like, whatever, I was still young, so I didn't care that much, but I did care. I was like, holy shit, that was fucking kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We put
I don't think we didn't ask for permission, right?
No.
Not for that track.
No, we didn't. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat probably got permission from Primus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But
a lot of those songs we got permission. A lot of them we didn't. Like all the Epitaph stuff. We got permission. All the Hyro stuff, we got permission.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but
yeah, that was a trip, especially when you get older, thinking about an album that wasn't released and then you just use it in something before the album even comes out and it's not even public yet.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so fucked up.
You know, I sent you the link for the Time for Living video, and I remember this is just contextually funny about how, you know, you go, oh, you know, we made that video together, and now it has like a really, you know, lovely place in the history of skateboarding. But when I had a clip in the Time for Living video.
What's that? Oh, you froze. You froze.
Yeah. And I thought I had my...
You said something about a clip in Time for Living?
When I had a clip in Time for Living, I was more stoked about that than making Questionable. Like, for sure, I was like, oh my, you know, my favorite clip got in the video. You know, this other clip got in the video, and it was like, you know, your nose grind, no slide, nose grind, fakie. And I remember, I feel like it was Spike called us after the premiere and was like, hey, and it might have been Tremaine might have been looped into this at that point because Big Brother was kind of spinning up and there was all those guys were kind of firing on all cylinders. And it was like, hey, we're doing this video. Can you send us the tape? And I think I transferred everything off of the raw tape, not the slow-mo tape. And just like, I just put together 3 minutes of bangers of whatever I thought was a good clip. And then I remember we messengered it up to LA, and I believe that they put it in black and white. But I think that goes to show part of that, you know, there's that whole blind plan B conversation that happens. And it's like, well, we made Questionable, there was rad skating in it, and those guys wanted to use it. You know, Spike goes, hey, let's put this in there, or there's some collision and overlap.
I remember there being like a quote or something like that. It was like, if they used our song, we're going to use their footage, or we're going to use their stuff. And so give us their stuff, like their clips. So it was like, okay. Yeah. So it's like someone found out, or I don't know, but it was rad that they were cool about it.
Yeah.
It shows like down to earth and understanding.
Yeah. I don't really know. I feel like skate videos were so not on people's radars of public consumption. Like, I think if you made a skateboard graphic, you could walk into a skate shop and see it on the wall and say, cease and desist, that's our copyright. But like, you would really have to put the VHS tape in, listen to the video. There was no like, oh, it's going to be posted on YouTube and someone can see that that's a copyright infringement. You know, and it's like by the time that it gets to, you know, George Harrison's son who's watching it in England, it's like, whatever, we're not pressing any more copies.
Yeah.
So the like immediacy of videos now, it's like, fuck, you can't use anything unless you did like a live, you know, viewing of it.
Yeah, I mean, we put out the Last Girl video, Doll, and there's a section that just gets muted because you know, YouTube flagged it. And so like everything's got sound, and then it just goes to like Malto's section, and then just silence. No, can't even like have the skating sounds or anything. No opportunity to do that. We're having a contest to do some shit for that too. But that's
so I remember that summer, Rick starts staying in LA. Extra Large opens on Vermont, and I was like, I remember us being in LA filming and going to Extra Large hoping to see Mike D, because it was like, oh, you know, Grand Royal magazine was coming out, like all this stuff, and it was like, we want to see Mike D. And then I remember hearing, you know, Rick met Mike D. So you obviously met them at that time?
No, I've never met one of them. Like, I've been so jealous of that. Well, not still, but like back then, being jealous. I was like, fuck, man, you got to meet them, you got to hang out with them. That sucks. I'm not sure who it was that he hung out with. I know it was either Ad Rock or Mike D, if not both. But yeah, I've never met one of them.
I really, for a guy that's been such a lifer for them, I really don't understand why that hasn't happened.
Just naturally hasn't
Yeah,
happened. You
yeah,
know, if you
yeah.
try to force it, and then next thing you know, you're just like sitting there, duh, like,
Right, exactly. Hey, I'm
yeah,
such a big fan.
yeah. Like I remember, at the Back to the City contest, there was some PR person that had, when Souls of Mischief were there,
Yeah,
and then they asked me if I'd take a photo with Casual, but I met all of them,
yeah.
and I was just like, I want to say so much to you, but
I
I don't know
have
what to say.
I have photos of that. I actually have one of those photos. Sophia Chang was there from Jive,
Uh,
and we all it was I that was like it was 92. There's a picture of us with Casual, like you might be wearing a backpack on your, like,
no,
again.
it was 93 because they
Okay,
played 93 till infinity,
there you go.
you know? And so I remember
Then I
just,
definitely didn't take that photo if it was 93.
yeah, I mean, it was that moment. It was the day we, you know, talked to Mike.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. That's
So
another
what? So
conversation.
what else? What like? Just to kind of put a bow on the conversation about the film, like what did you feel from it? What, like, for me, when I watch a movie like that, I'm not necessarily like trying to be critical. Anytime I watch a movie, I'm just trying to feel it. And I felt like at the end, I definitely got emotional at the Yauk part. I
Yeah,
definitely felt like they really told the story of their growth as artists and the reinvestment in themselves. That for me was like the biggest thing that I loved, was that it took them this journey to kind of get back to themselves. And then they found their voice
yeah.
and played the biggest shows ever, made the biggest impact. And that's kind
All
of what,
all
I
from
was left
there.
with.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but yeah, all from them, you know, like you said, finding their voice and doing the creativity all by themselves. Well, not
Yeah.
by themselves, but having a big hand in it, you know,
Yeah.
like taking control of
Yeah.
their
And
music and
it's interesting also, like the muses that people have creatively. Spike's involvement at that time is so like cosmically perfect in terms of the spontaneity that he brings to all the equations.
yeah,
And then he's documenting it too. So there's that aspect of it. And that spontaneity, I think that's the thing for me, is that spontaneity. And that really translated into the show.
yeah, and just like how loose it is and not being perfectionist, like because
Yeah.
if it's too perfect, I mean, yeah, sure, that's great, but you know, it's real life, like,
Yeah.
you know, let things happen naturally. And
Yeah.
if there's, like I always say in skating, if like people don't, you know, someone does a trick and it's a little bit sketchy, it's just like they're, I don't want to use it, it's sketchy, but it's like, no, actually that makes it look sick. That little natural
Yeah,
sketch
for
is sick.
sure.
So
I
that brings
mean,
the character to like a lot of people's styles. I'm not saying super sketchy, but
yeah.
sometimes super, but you know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
that's why, like a kid like Rowan, when you watch him skate, you're just like, oh, because every time there's a naturalism to it that doesn't feel like it just feels pure.
yeah, for sure. And then just seeing, yeah, that whole, like the arc of everything.
Yeah.
And then it was just cool to see. It kind of made me feel like a little paralleled with like their you know, story, I guess,
Yeah.
for lack of a
That's what
better word to say.
I didn't want to go so deep and obviously on that, but because when you look at people's journeys, sure, there's like paths or trajectories that you could map to your own, but it's not fair to say, oh, who was the Russell Simmons in your life, or oh, what was the Paul's Boutique moment from your life. It's more like, as you found more joy in skating and found, that balance or whatever that came from inside, like I'm sure you connect with that.
Yeah, for sure. You know, going through like what they did and they were stoked and having fun, and then they got burnt on it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, trying to do their own thing, working with other people, you know, and then it was pretty cool to see like Check Your Head. It was like their one that they're super stoked on, you know, because that's when I pretty much got reintroduced to them like during Check Your Head, you know, especially I was listening to a lot, you know, like I said, during Questionable. So it like brings me back to that time. And then, but just like in their videos and stuff, you know, like,
for sure,
like super, I don't know if I was already starting to be like just changing out of the goofy boy style of, you know, dressing or whatever like that. I was still young, so impressionable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then just seeing how normal they looked, you know, just khakis or not khakis, but like chinos like Ben's or Dickies, beanie, t-shirt, just normal, you know, canvases, Pumas.
Yeah.
It's just like, just normal looking, not trying to be like some fashionista.
Yeah.
You know,
and imperfect, right? Like there's a beauty to like the imperfection of it.
Yeah.
You know?
And just seeing all the like photos of them growing up and just all the randomness, it just always just looked like they were probably part of our crew back then or something.
For sure.
Like that. You know what I mean? But like I never looked at them like that back then. They were just this larger than life thing that, you know, but yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was pretty rad.
That's the thing, I think, is that we connected with them for like the appeal and that impact that they had. But what we didn't realize was that we connected with them deeper because we were very similar. You know, that punk rock spirit is so legit. And I think that having a film that celebrates that, you know, that they had a band with men and women in it, and it was like they just didn't give a fuck and they were just chasing it. And it's like that's the reminder that we all need, that like there was a quote. I interviewed someone once and they had this amazing quote, and they said it like, you know, we do a long interview, someone's telling me their life story, and he goes, Jacob, there are no rules.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, just like I got punched in the face with that. And it's like, that's one of the best things to come back to, is like, there are no rules.
That's what I always try to say, like when we're editing videos, like people, you know, try to go by this guideline or this template that they've seen their favorite filmer before try to do. And it's just like for example, when Questionable, like I wanted that Biz Markie part. And there was no spot for it, but I was just like, then put it into the, you know, the contest section. Just put it in there. And at first it was kind of like like that's not the part. I was like, but who cares? Like,
and then it was the collision of, well, we never intended of using the C block as your intro. Like, we didn't. When we went up to film the C block, Rick broke his board. You know, I think that was the day maybe he snapped his board trying to frontside pop shove over the Gons, because he's wearing that same amazing, my favorite plaid button up short sleeve, the Rick shirt. And we just walked up to the top. And then you guys are like, you guys aren't even tripping about me. You just walk straight to the wall, and Rick kind of hits it, of course, scaring us. And it's like you just end up filming and looking down. I had never been up there before.
Yeah, it was, what we were doing was probably just more trying to get an overview of Embarcadero, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if I had already thought of it, but I think in that footage you can hear me spelling it out, like C-A-R-R.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like, this is the intro and we're going to do
it was not.
Yeah.
Well, especially if I was filming, it wasn't like, this was the intro. You know what I mean? It was my, you know.
We weren't thinking like that back then.
Exactly.
Right?
Not at all. Not at all.
We're going to get this B-roll in this intro, or were you?
No, I mean, I definitely just was always opportunistic about trying to show you guys not skating, because I knew that Mike loved using that stuff for texture.
Yeah. All that stuff is rad. I love all that stuff. I think Bill does a pretty good job of showing all that type of stuff.
You're preaching to the choir, dude.
You know,
I'm like, I can't get enough of Bill's videos, because I feel like he is watching the energy and the people as opposed to just the skating.
Yeah.
And he
That was pretty sick.
knows,
Huh.
you know, he just knows his instincts with his camera is just stupid with skateboarding.
Maybe
Crazy.
he comes from the school of Jake Rosenberg and Aaron Meza.
Maybe, yeah. I see
That was
him
pretty
with
sick that one time when you and Meza were, Bill was on there, and then Lee, Freckleface, DuPont was on there.
Yeah, of course.
It was pretty sick to have, like, the whole little film crew.
It's great. It's great. I mean, there's like a legit, you know, brotherhood with all of us. You just take egos out of it. It's not about what you've made. I just really believe that all those filmers, you know, from Lee to Bill to Greg to Ty to everybody, we're filming for the same reason, because we love you guys, and we're like, I want to capture this and show it to people. Like, that is a common thread, you know?
Yeah. It's a trip. Oh,
Yeah.
There was one thing I tripped out off of, because I always feel for certain skaters that, you know, that are really gnarly, like, say, a Guy, Eric, or MJ, like, they have to top their next parts or something like that. And I only say them because I know them, so I'm sure there's other ones, maybe like Jamie Thomas or something.
Sure.
But I've always not been able to do something like that. It's just always like, this is just me in the moment.
Yeah.
Just, this is me in this period of time, not outdoing the last part, because I'm not capable of that.
Yeah.
So, but to hear them say that, there was like some random interview, and they said something like that, like, you know, they're not making the same album or whatever. They're just like making what they are in that period.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm not quoting it verbatim, but.
No, but I think that is about letting go.
Yeah.
And the thing that I kind of miss in skate videos, and I've had this conversation with Danny, is like, dude, I just want to see you skate. Like, I don't want to see you do a kickflip 900. I just want to see you do a fucking 9-foot high judo air, you know, to tail, of just a big Madonna, just smack your tail like Danny Way, young Madonna. Like, that's all I want to see. Like, I want to see Mike Carroll just dipped into a back Smith. I want to see you do like a clean nollie flip. Like, so I struggle because, I don't struggle, but I go, I just want to watch that. Like, who cares? You know? And there's a little bit of that happening now in some of the skate videos, where there's less pressure from some skaters to try to go nuts.
Yeah.
But I feel like, man, I just want to see you guys sessioning.
I feel like right now reminds me of like 94, 95-ish, when, like, okay, so we left Plan B and it was like super technical, gotta outdo or do all these gnarly, never been done before tricks, and and then after that, and maybe it was just my own mind state, but started seeing skateboarding not be so aggressively progressive.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so at that time, it made me feel comfortable. But it's rad to see right now, because I feel like it helps you learn how to skate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get to know your board a little bit more.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
I think it's an interesting conversation, right? Like, again, I'm on such the outside, so I rely on my conversations with you, or my conversations with Mesa, or my conversations with Greg. And it's like, I think skateboarding's like as rich as it's ever been right now. Like, I just look at the way people skate, the styles that they skate, and I just feel like there's something for everyone. There's for everyone, and all the women who skate now who are just so rad, and you're not so hell bent on the progression as you are about the vibe and the style of the skater. And that feels really like celebrated right now. Yeah.
For sure. I think it's a rad time in skating right now. Like, for everyone, it's more freeing. I mean, maybe I'm not there in the conversations of people talking shit about, you know, like we used to back in the day, like, he didn't flip into it, or
exactly,
blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, Greg just commented Grant Taylor. It's like, exactly, dude. Like, that kid is like, and Rowan, like all these kids, like, and again, I go back to Bill's videos, like Blessed for me was like, you know, there's certain parts in there I could see someone go, oh, well, that wasn't the technical gnarliest thing. I was like, yeah, but like, I feel like I know exactly who this Ben kid is. And like, I don't care about the gnarl. I'm like, I'm compelled just to watch him.
Yeah. I think, and I've heard a lot of this word, but it's relatable. You know, it's relatable.
Yeah. It's authentic.
Doesn't seem so far and untouchable. Like you're just like, okay, I'll never do that. I'll probably quit skating and get into cars and chicks and drugs.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know, and then and I think that's sick because then people get more, you know, that helps you get more control of your board and feel it more. And then if you want to, you know, then you can start trying to flippity flip in and flippity flip out.
Sure. And it's like, but the fact that I think part of it is this collision of how, I mean, people started doing no complies again a while ago, but the fact
no complies or 43,
whatever, dude.
Or
I call them no
house.
complies. Yeah, it's like, again, I call them 360 flips, and someone's like, it's a tray flip. Okay. Like
I tried to argue that for a long time. Tray, no, not tray, but now I just say it naturally.
Yeah.
I can't say 3 flip though.
Yeah, but why don't people call? The other thing too is someone I read, they were like, yeah, Mike Carroll refers to the half cap big spin as a my dick. It's like, yeah, that is a my dick. That's what it was called when everyone was doing it at EMB.
It was pre big spin.
Yeah,
that trick was pre big spin. You know?
Yeah, because you would do the pop shove it, a frontside or backside 180, and then the way to get your board back straight is the half cab.
Yeah, and it was one of those random tricks that, like, you know, like when you try to learn how to kickflip and you accidentally body burial when you start skating. It was like one of those tricks.
A sex change?
Sure. I never understood what that trick was. I've never learned what that trick was. Is it just a body barrel?
I mean, a half cab.
Oh, no. Yeah, forget it. But, wait. Sorry. I'm trying to hold this fucking phone. They said I couldn't go live on a laptop. But that's wrong, huh? Because you're on a laptop?
No, I'm not. No. I just set my phone in a secure place.
Oh.
I'm trying to have proper video conferencing etiquette right now.
I know. I couldn't figure that out because I thought I was gonna fuck up my speaker. Oh, you got headphones in though. I don't have headphones. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, there was the My Dick was pre Big Spin. Fakey Big Spin was called the My Dick back then.
Yeah.
Because it was pre Big Spin. And then Brian Lottie decided to invent the Big Spin.
Yeah.
And then who named it?
Yeah.
Do you know who named it? You remember?
The My Dick? It's either Javante or Henry.
No, I don't remember who named the My Dick. I was just saying, do you remember who named the Big Spin?
I mean, Lottie?
Alfonso.
Love that.
And you know where it comes from, right? Obviously.
No, not obviously.
You don't know this?
No.
Jesus, this is like your era. Because of Brian Lottie, sounds like the lottery. Lottery.
Wow. Wow. That's the etymology of skate tricks.
Right?
Yeah.
I've always been super hyped on that little story. You know?
It's amazing. That's like it took me forever to know that a lean air was Neil Blender's name spelled backwards.
Oh yeah. I learned that a little bit later, but that is so sick.
Right?
You know, yeah, it was funny, Tyler Cacao, he was showing me some of his photos earlier, and then he was like, and this is Simon doing a frontsider. I was like, looks like it's lean air. He's like, yeah, but it's frontside. And I was just like, well, but if you're grabbing, I like having little stupid, innocent arguments of tricks.
I mean, we all need to keep the Grosso spirit alive. And it's like there's a stink bug awareness account, and everything they post is a tuck knee. It's like, no, stink bugs between the legs. Like, that's it.
Oh, really? Is that really?
Stink bug's not hand left, like if you're goofy, left hand between the legs?
Oh, stink bug is definitely in between the legs. It's never tucked.
Yeah.
Are they trying?
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Fuck it.
So what do you take with you? Like, how do you contextualize that time in San Francisco? Just to kind of go back a little bit. But when you look at those like 4 or 5 years before you moved to LA and Girl started and all that, how do you feel about that time? Not the details of it, but what do you feel about it when you think back of that era at EMB?
So at Embarcadero,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, how do I feel about it? Super stoked to have experienced it, you know, because it seems like it's, I wouldn't say rare, but at that time it was a little rare to have a place like that, you know, like a plaza or whatever, and then having a group of skaters like that and all of us to be such good friends, you know. And so I think yeah, just super appreciative to have experienced something like that and to have been a part of it, because it seems like, I mean now that older or social media, whatever, you see how it affected other people. And so it's a trip, you know. So I don't know, super appreciative, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was family back then, you know. All of us probably had broken households. So I remember talking to Javante a little bit about it, and he's just like, yeah, skateboard. And I never knew he, you know, had house issues.
Yeah.
But he was just like, yeah, I just didn't want to go home. He's like, that's what skateboarding was for, you know, like that saved us. That saved us, you know, basically our therapy, you know, and keeping us out. So
for sure. It was to me, it was a whole cycle of therapy and then just immediate expression. And that goes socially, like people could fight dudes, flash on dudes, or you could skate really hard and, you know, you could be someone like off to the side, you know, like a little kid like LeVar who slowly just like becomes who he is. And everyone gets to watch that growth happen. You know, he gets to sort of be baptized in that whole process. And that to me is like one of the amazing things about all the plazas around the country around the world that have kind of, that have the ability to be in that place for a long enough period of time that people kind of grow up around it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Embarcadero basically was a skate park, you know. It wasn't, I mean, obviously it wasn't official, but to have brown marble benches right around the corner, China Banks and Mini Hubba and actually Hubba, it was just like, just to have access to all those spots and you just bounce around in that little, 1 mile square
We have
radius.
so much footage, like trying to find lines from Black Rock to EMB, from brown marble to EMB. You know?
I remember that. I remember trying to get a line from Black Rock to Embarcadero.
Yeah.
I mean,
we definitely tried. We had that one day, I think, remember you had the spray painted white airwalks, the day that Tony Childress showed up at EMB, and then we went to Paul Zwanich's ramp later in the day.
I had a green Schmidt stick board. Shh, don't tell anyone, but I think I got it from Rick Ibaceta.
Yeah.
It was a green Schmidt stick board with a long indie sticker on the bottom, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that. The board felt like it had a long wheelbase. I remember that. It's funny.
So
remember.
How was that did you go up for the EMB reunion, or was that just Sam?
No, I went.
Not just Sam, but you
30.
went, right? How
Henry
was
showed
that
up too?
How was that?
It was rad. I was so stoked. I didn't think he would show up, you know, because I rarely see or talk to him. But he came in good spirits and it was super sick. But yeah, a lot of people were there. It was we did it over towards Mini Hubba's not there now, but over in that area. You know, like where Umar ollied over and James would ollie over that bar by the fountain.
Yeah.
That fence. Yeah, it was like right past that in the grass. So
In the grass where there was that low ledge, and then there was that one parking lot that Duffy ollied that gap. That gap was pretty rad.
yeah, it
I
was
there
just
for a
basically
minute.
that lane on the way to Mini Hubba.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was rad. It was super sick to see everyone. I mean, especially Henry, because I didn't think he was going to show up.
Yeah.
So it was rad to hang out and talk to him for a little bit, and he was super pumped. And yeah, so
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, yeah, just the people and the characters from that time for me are so fascinating.
Wingding,
Just everybody, like
Bobcat.
Wingding's late 360 shove-its, like, come on. His half cab, late my dicks.
That's right.
Or his backside 180 my dick, like big spin. His late big spins, ooh,
Late
and
big
he would
spins.
you would just stand up straight on the board.
Yeah, sick style, sick pop, super clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was rad. Who else was super sick? I mean, everyone was in their own weird little way.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I'm getting stumped right here.
That's fine. I mean, we've been talking for a while.
How long have we been
how
talking?
have you been? How have you? Then maybe like let's wrap it up. Like, how have you been during these last 2 months? Not to go anywhere crazy, but have you had any interesting thoughts about things? Skating, your creativity.
Skating. I started like I had been skating because we're living in this apartment right now and just doing stuff and life gets in the way. But there came a time I was just going out like when it was real, like hunker down.
Mm-hmm.
I would just go skate around at night, like for days out in the streets. So
by yourself?
Yeah, just by myself. And
where'd you go?
So I'm like over by Forest Lawn in Burbank. So I would skate probably towards the Whole Foods that's over in Burbank and a little bit past that and just kind of get lost in the neighborhoods and stuff. Just push all the up curbs. So it was just like just trying to get used to the board again. I was doing that for like 2 weeks. Everything was good. And then kind of fell off and started I started having some drinks.
Yeah.
And then once I have the drinks, get a little caught up in that. Yeah. But just not caught up, but like less motivated.
Yeah, it's just it's the kryptonite for your brain to go, all right, I'm gonna go do this.
It's so when I shut it off, and it's fine. Yeah. But like once I pop, I can't stop.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I think we've been pretty fortunate, considering, building the house, all that stuff. But it's definitely been interesting to see all of this shit happen and be living through this.
Yeah.
I definitely feel bad for all the people that are in the hot spots that are super, because talked to some people from New York and it was just like I was out skating and they're just like, holy shit, you're out skating, and I didn't realize how gnarly it was.
Right.
And it's just like, fuck, man, if this shit I hope they open it up right, because it would suck for them to go through it again, or whoever's going through it to have to go through it again.
Yeah.
But hopefully this will be a good reset. I don't know.
So.
I'm trying to be optimistic about.
Yeah, it's a fine line, right? Like I think that the opportunity is there to have a reset for sure, but the opportunity to also really kind of have lives and businesses be so overwhelmingly disrupted is also just as real. So it's like, how do you balance those two things? I mean, the reality, it's like, so like I bought stuff from skate shops and, try to do what little things you can, but there's no even clear way to do some of that stuff. So hopefully, some of that stuff starts getting figured out in terms of how you can kind of support each other as a community and do those types of things.
Just not so like not segregated, but just so separated. Everyone doing so many different things. It just gets confusing, and then people start getting frustrated. I understand the frustrations of not being able to do stuff for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but it would be rad to have someone guide us through this. Someone smart to just guide us through this, because I don't know. We're all able to.
That would be amazing.
Individually do this on our own.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel the same thing. I mean, I've spent a lot of time just thinking and feeling and not being afraid of what I think and what I feel, like just being aware of kind of what's opened up inside of me. We've had a couple conversations, more than a couple. We've talked a lot. And I think that the difficult thing is like finding the right answers, finding the right pieces of information. I've read some stuff that really felt well researched and really felt very informative, and I think if you follow those types of ideas about wearing masks in public and doing that, then you can minimize all these things. But it's like, even engaging in that conversation, someone says, well, we shouldn't have to do it. It's like, so it's just really hard to find that balance of like how you coexist.
Yeah.
So I just think it for me, my thing that I've learned as I've gotten older is just don't be a dick, like, like if you're going into someone else's neighborhood and you're jogging, you probably should be wearing a mask, because that's not about you, that's about them. It's common courtesy. So
yeah. And it's like, instead of thinking about yourself, it's my liberty. I mean, think about the other people. But I guess we shouldn't probably talk about this type of stuff. This isn't, I mean, we can talk about that. What about, let's see if you want to tell everyone how our fight began during the editing of virtual reality?
Let's finish on a high note.
And is this the high note?
Yeah, let's do it. Sam sent a note. He said, go as long as you want, but you may get cut off. So before we get cut off, no
one's going to cut us off.
Oh, amazing. So we're editing virtual reality. This is probably in May of 1993, and I am editing Rick's part. I had picked the music with Mike in the last couple days, and so what we would do is we would just lay down the music, and then I'd start editing the tricks. And in that case, in that part, I just would start trying to build this part, right? Because we'd start cutting stuff and we'd start putting stuff in order, and then look at it and start to see, is it feeling right? So I remember I started editing Rick's part, and I was like, I'm editing his part today. And you were in the editing room with me, and your girlfriend called, or you called your girlfriend, and I'm editing, and I'm going through. The music's on. I'm trying to start feeling the music and everything. And you're like, you turn to me and you go, you better turn that shit down or I'm going to slap the shit out of you. And I go,
smack?
Smack, probably smack. Well, you better turn that shit down or I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And it was like, well, I can either completely, it was funny because I was like, I'm either going to be Steve Kerr or I'm going to back down. And I just played, I think I turned it up, or I might have turned it down. Then I turned it up, and you just went to smack me, and I kind of dodged the smack, kind of shoved you back. You fell backwards on the chair that you were sitting in. The phone is off the hook. Your legs are up, and you just went into full like, "Fuck you, dude! I'm gonna fucking kick your ass! What the fuck you doing?" And I'm like, oh god! I'm in the editing room.
Were we wrestling in the room?
No. You like fell backwards in the chair. Your feet were kicking at me. I backed away. And then you went in the hallway right by the front door. You're like, come on, fuck you, come on, duh. You're egging me on. And I'm like, my heart rate gets up. But then I start settling down because I didn't start fighting you. And if you know about adrenaline, it's like, oh no, this is not good. So then I started to get scared. And I started to think like, oh fuck, like Mikey fights his brother. Like Greg and Mike have fought. Like Mike has been in more fights than me. I don't think this is gonna go well. I don't feel good about this.
Well, he beat me
Like,
up all the time.
so yeah, so which I know means that you would be happy to beat someone else up. So so you're like, fuck you, you're talking shit, and Mike and Rick are in the living room, and they're like, you know, and I was like, I was really scared, and I was like, okay, fuck it, let's go. And then we go to the front door. Your back is to the front door. My kids are home. You have a key. My back is to the front door, and your back is to the front door. You step out. I step in front of you, and you go, come on, bitch, come on, bitch. And I just was like, I don't know what to do. And I just went boom and just punched you in the face. And I remember it landed. Yeah, I'd gotten in a fight, but never like put up your dukes, throw the punch, it connects perfectly. Like it was always scrappy.
Yeah.
And so I went and I hit you right in the face, and I didn't know what to do next. Like I didn't know that I'm supposed to rush you and try to like pull your shirt to, you know, smuggle your hands or whatever. So I'm like, popped you, and I stop, and you literally, this is the craziest thing, you said, wow, deja vu. You said that right
I
after
remember that. It was a fucking trip.
And then you just attacked me. We wrestled. I'm like on top of you, and you're punching me, and my head's like down like this, so you're just beating the shit on my forehead.
We're like slipping down the like ice.
There's the ivy,
like little hillside.
So I grab you and I throw you down that hillside, and you like took your pinky in my shirt and you were like this, boom, and you had a perfect hold, and you pulled me all the way down.
Oh, really?
And like, oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I gotta open the door for my kids. My kids will be fired up to know that I'm telling the story of fighting somebody. So yeah, and then we get, you know, we're on the ground, and we're in the parking lot now. I don't think I'm wearing shoes. You're not wearing shoes. You get me in a headlock, and you're just pounding away. And then it kind of naturally stops.
We both probably pooped as fuck.
Dude, totally pooped. And you're like, you go like this. You go, dude, I respect you. I respect you.
It's so weird. I do not remember, and doesn't seem like something I would say, but like that's so funny.
I respect you for fighting me. And then I went straight to the pool, took off all my clothes except my underwear, and I just submerged myself in the water for like 15 minutes.
I wish I would have done that too. I had like a kinked neck later that day.
Yes.
I remember because I was laying. I think I woke up. Slept in that guest room upstairs.
Yeah.
And that next morning was just like my neck like had the gnarliest.
You did not stay at Mike's house that night.
I remember you saying that, but I swear it was later.
I believe
I remember laying in that bed and my neck feeling kinked. So I don't know if it was afterwards or what. So that
it was crazy, but it was like it's so interesting to me, like, and especially in that Jordan documentary this last week, Steve Kerr talked about fighting Michael Jordan.
That was sick.
And it was great. It was great. And you know, as a Warriors fan, you're like, come on.
Can you hear me? Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay, because I'm trying to have my shit propped up on something, but still holding it.
So I think in a weird way, I think if you guys didn't leave after that, then I think our relationship would have been different.
Yeah.
Because I think we would have then figured it out. But you were so on fire. I was so on fire from that experience. I mean, basically after virtuals, I was like, I told Mike, I kind of quit. I was like, I got to take the summer off. We were driving up to his wedding. I was like, I'm cooked. I can't keep doing this. Like, you know, I love these guys, but what the, you know.
It was stressful, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole, just, I mean, the pressure and all that stuff. That shit was stressful. You know, and then what? I was 17 years old at that time. So the trip to think about that age.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that not to bring it always back to the Beastie Boys documentary, but like that thing about like actually letting yourself off the hook for being that young, it's like takes such a long time to do. I mean, I feel like whatever, I think it was in 2007 when you and I kind of reconnected, and like that first conversation we had was like, you know, an hour and a half long conversation where we sort of said sorry to each other for the first time, you know, and like that, I think that's the goal in life, because I can't divorce my childhood from you, because so much of what we did defined both of us, you know?
And to have the relationship with someone who, you know, Mike.
Yeah.
Who, you know, did a lot for us and kind of helped shape the way we grew up in a way.
Yeah. And I think that the thing that I love about our friendship and kind of where the path that it's taken is like, I always felt after Mike died and you guys went and did your thing, that it was like, I always felt like, oh, well, maybe you guys really didn't know how much he loved you. And when we reconnected, it was so clear to me that you did know. And that was kind of all that mattered to me, was that, like, it isn't about forgiveness or what. It's not. It's about just knowing where his heart was and knowing that he was young too, like us. Let's say that again.
How old was he? 24 or 25?
When we did virtual, he was 20. He would have just turned 26.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah.
And like, and I unearthed a tape recently with his daughter Michaela, of him interviewing Sheffy for that Big Brother interview. And it's crazy when you see, when I hear Mike talking to Sheffy, because I can hear him trying to kind of be cool with Sean. He's like, "What's up, Sheffy?" You know, like, "What's up, Sean? What's up, Carroll?" Like, you know, he had his like thing, which just shows you how young he kind of was, that he still wanted to be, you know, liked and accepted too. He wasn't, you know, infallible in that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and when you're that young, it's hard to understand or appreciate. I mean, slightly did appreciate, but completely understand and it's not till way later that you realize like how important and what good he did for and you and probably Danny, Rick, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing, you know, that's the thing that to me is like so clear, that like that's his like ESP about kids needing support was on another level.
For sure. Like I mean, I've told you about the times he helped me study at home when my mom was drunk in the other room, and he was helping me study for some test at school. And then, you know, just all the other shit that he would say to me, like it was really rad. You know, not have that in your life, and then, you know, like the big brother or thing.
And you had a big brother who looked out for you, you know, in that way of like, you guys, I mean, you had your house, certain things were in order to a degree. Your brother did what he could with the tools he had.
Yeah.
But that's your brother. Like, you're never going to get past the fact that that's family and there's going to be drama and all that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, being as young as he was too, like, what's he, you know, he didn't have any guidance, you know? It's like, how would he know how to take care of me and him in the household?
Yeah. I remember picking you. I remember coming to your house. I remember picking you up. And that's that thing I think about our generation of for us, like the latchkey kid stuff that was like really prominent in the 80s, and like it was never weird to me that I went to your house, that you dropped out of high school, that your mom was never around, that we would pick up fast food for dinner and we would just watch skate videos. Like that's
Nope.
like a little. Say that again. You cut out.
The household, like that.
Say that again.
No parent in the household.
Yeah.
Like it was so normal.
Yeah.
You know, when I tell people about that now, it's just like they're just like, "What? I don't understand that." And you know, I propped it up against something different.
Yeah, I think the speaker mutes you when you're when I'm talking.
Yeah.
You need those AirPods, dude.
Dude, I lost my headphones a few days ago.
This is terrible. That's your best angle we've had so far, right there. the reverse of the jerk off board. Oh my god.
What is it?
The reverse of the slick bottom.
I wonder what today's day and age jerk off board would be. Would it be a bunch of like an iPad or something like that on the ground?
Yeah, it would be an iPad on the ground with like tabs open that like you'd have to like study like what the
like
combination of
RedTube,
acronyms are.
YouPorn, Pornhub, maybe
Never
some other
heard of
shit that's some new stuff. Oh, you've never heard of it. I'm sorry, kids are there. You erase your cookies?
I mean, dude, yeah, a long time ago when the laptop was used for such things.
Yeah, that's funny. Should we end this? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk again sometime.
All right, dude.
All right, dude.
I appreciate
love you.
it.
I'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, Mikey. Okay, bye.